And we are live. Yes, people, welcome back to BBK Sports. Who will start at Anfield on Sunday? Mikel Arteta has a massive selection headache, right? With the Eberiche signing, the surge of Max Dowman, the impact of Ethan Nwaneri in the last game, the injury to Saka and Odegaard, and the Martinelli's historical performances against Liverpool, the cameo of Madueke at right wing last week. He has a series of decisions to make this week, and we'll see how he deals with it. But before we get into all that, people, just listen to the music. Rock on, come in. Yes, people, BBK Sports is back. So what does he do? What does he do this weekend? Massive fixture. Possibly the hardest place to win in all of football. Anfield away. Big up to every single one of you that's locked in the chat already. I see man like Kwaja in the building. Big up Kwaja. What you saying, Kwaja? Hope you are well. Hope you are well, my guy. And smash the likes and sub and all that there, all that good stuff. I see Anfield the Red. I see Anfield the Red is in the building already, doing his Liverpool thing. This guy is unbelievable. I said 2 likes. Keep smashing the likes, everyone. Big up, man. How about LFC user under 18? Hey, listen, Feel the Red, make sure you are here, Make sure you are here Sunday. Because Wahaha was giving us that same energy. Wahaha was giving us big boy energy last week. And then, he had to disappear for a little bit. Big up to Cooper in the building. I see Cooper. And right below Cooper's name, you know whose name it is that shows up. The man, the myth, the legend, earlier on this stream, within 4 minutes in, not even 4 minutes in, the 4th minute, if you're using football terms. Man like E. Ross is in the building, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what time it is once you hear E. Ross names. If you're in the car, just turn the music up and relax for a little bit before we get back into the football. You already know what it is.
Maybach music.
I think I'm Big Meech. Whipping work. I'm so sophisticated. To get a verse from me, you gotta be initiated. One say a born stunner. I can blow money. Sip it when I'm shopping. That ain't no money. I'm burning purple flowers. It's burning my chest. I bury the most cash and burning the rest. On my necklace, all my diamonds watching, now my watch is getting jealous.
Yes. It's the musical montage for man like E. Ross in the building. Never an interruption, always a celebration. My brother E. Ross is in the building every single time. Maybach music. Yes, sir. See some dappings going on. I see it, man. Absolute legends in the chat. Early, yeah, man. The early bird gets the time to dance. Big up to the first lady of BBK Sports, Dana is in the building. The Toronto Gooner back again. Big up, BBK. Big up to the Toronto Gooner, man. What you saying to us, brother? Hope you are well. Hope you got some fantastic weather out there in the 6th. Yes, sir. I tried, Dana. My Spotify account is all over the place. I have to sort that out. But big up to you every single time. All right. That made it through that. Now, people, I don't know how many of you guys were big up Sheldon into the building. We're fortunate enough to tune into 12 Man podcast yesterday with Dan Potts. It was a pretty good show, right? When I see men like DJB, I was on DJB's channel twice last week. Kenny Ken. See, when you were on a stream with DJB and Kenny Ken, you have to have your facts straight because that man will eat you alive. DJB has been in the game for 50 years, Man has been supporting Arsenal for 50 years, DJB. Him and Kenny Ken, they're like Gooner encyclopedias is what I call them. They have so much knowledge on the team and on the game. And you do anything for as long as they've done it, you're going to be good at it, right? Like, say, for example, if they're doing like a firearm safety, portability, and durability and dependability show panel, and I'm on there as an armament technician, and you just started getting into firearms last week, and you come on the panel with me and a bunch of armament techs, you're going to get eaten alive. You're going to get swallowed up. Pause. Remember the TD Jakes viral moment. Have you ever been swallowed up? Remember them ones? But there was a moment on that show yesterday I thought that was very important to be pointed out. And it leads into the topic that we're going to discuss today about who starts at Anfield. Who starts? He has a selection headache in a good way. Some of that is due to injuries. Some of that is due to signings. Some of that is due to performances and breakthroughs in the team, i.e. Max Dowman. Yeah? So he has a selection headache on who he plays, how long he plays them, who starts, who doesn't start, the left back rotation between Skelly and Calafiori stuff. Well, we're going to get into all that. But there was a point in the show where they were trying to convince, a guy was trying to convince the panel that Eze is a left winger. And most of us know that he isn't, right? And the show was kind of going to go off the rails. Big up to Dan Potts for reeling it back in because it could have went off the rails easily. Because when man just wants to be wrong and strong sometimes, like when you want to be right about something, but the facts just doesn't support your opinion. The facts just don't support your stance, and you want to be wrong and strong. So you just double down, triple down in the light of evidence. You're like, no, I'm right about no. That's the thing. So they had this heat map up that showed Eze pretty much left of center, drifting out left, come back in the middle, right? So that was Iga's argument on why Eze is an out-and-out left wing and he's going to be starting left wing for us on Sunday. Okay, fair, whatever. But then DJB Aaron said, bring up Odegaard's heat map. And when he did do so, reluctantly, he brought up Odegaard's heat map. It was right side central, heavy. So then the question was asked, okay, is Odegaard a right winger then? Since all of his time is spent out wide. And he was buffled, he was stumped, and he started to be, when you catch someone out, either you get silence, crickets, or you get beatbox, up, or you get the RBF, right? The resting bitch face, when he was caught out. Because it completely debunks his theory of Eze being a left winger. Now, we all know that Crystal Palace plays a 3-4-2-1 formation. That's what they do. In that formation, there is no left winger. That's how Crystal Palace plays. They play Lacroix, they play Jefferson Lerma, and Gahey at the back three, right? And at the wing backs, they play Munoz and they play Tyreek Mitchell. And in the middle, they have Wharton, sometimes Will Hughes as the two holding midfielders. And then in the two, in front of those holding midfielders, they play Eze and Sarr and Mateta in front of him. So Eze is essentially, he's like a double 10 that drifts to the left. But he is not a winger. There is no left winger in a 3-4-2-1 formation. There isn't. But some men just want to be wrong and strong all the time. And he got caught out with that yesterday. I just thought that was important that they highlighted that no, Eze is not a left winger. And if he is bought to be our left winger, is yet another player that will be playing out of position. Yeah. But that was very interesting. It was an interesting watch. It wasn't a long stream. It was about an hour and a half. If you have time, I urge you to go back and check that out. But big, let me get back into these chat before we delve forward into who we think is going to start for Arsenal Football Club at the weekend. Big up to man like Gary. Don't waste the trip. Who else we got? There is the link for Gary. You know, E-Ross out here doing God's work. Space for me. Oh shit, Gary. You know, man, Gary. You know what, Gary? Give me 1 second. I always got space for Gary. Gary the legend. Oh Lord, Gary. Only for you, man. I'm sorry I took so long to get to it. But let me find my God damn you, Gary. 1 second, people. There we go. Got to message Gary live on stream. Yeah, always space for Gary, but don't waste in the trip. Yeah, DJB, Kenny Ken, right. Well, Kenny Ken can do a 4-hour stream effortlessly with no notes, you know, no prompter, nothing. He's just that guy. You know, he knows Arsenal very, very well. Big up to AJ in the building, #1 mod of all the mods. Big up to you, my bro. Hope you are well assembled. Hope you're having a fantastic day. As we wait for Gary to jump in with his waffle, should he get the message. What we got? We got Gavin in the building. Gavin, the legend. I believe Odegaard will be fine. I start Madueke, Gyökeres. We'll start Madueke, Gyökeres, and Eze off to the left. Okay, fair. We'll dive into that here in a second, but that internet be moving like Odegaard sometimes. The mental gymnastics, yeah, man. Man would go down the street and back and invent a left winger instead of just getting one. You know what I'm saying? Sit Odegaard, start Eze. Oh wait, would know how to pass without Saka. Wouldn't know how to pass without Saka. Yeah. You have Saka over there and Ben White. He does do that very well, but I suspect it will be Timber at right back. But even though a world exists where we see him put Timber at left back and Ben White at right back, so Timber can deal with Mo Salah. As I think every single one of us in here would be more comfortable with Timber squaring up versus Mo Salah versus Calafiori or Skelly. You know, I have so much faith in that Timber guy, man. He is my right back. There is not one that I'm taking in the Premier League over him. And that's with Reece James fit. That's with Trent coming back. I said that last year when Trent was here. There's none. I rate that guy highly. I know a strong, sensible, talented, fearless footballer when I see one, and he checks all those boxes. Sell Odegaard in front of Rodrigo, please. Thank you. I don't know. You know, there would be people who would frown at this. People would turn this down because of sentiment. It wouldn't because of a quality standpoint. Because Rodrigo is clearly, you know, our left wing, I'll keep it consistent. Hey, Robert Pires level. Rodrigo is the closest thing to that on the market right now. I'm very curious to see your starting 11 BBK. Yeah, I'm going to throw it up here in a second. But I think I have two. I think I have what I think he's going to put up, and I think what I would put up should everyone be fit. And, you know, based on who he starts, will heavily influence my prediction. Cooper bigging up the assembled. Where my man is, hey, big up the man then, man. Big up Sheldon every single time. Every single time. Hope you are well. Martinelli to start because of his defensive contributions. It's a heavy talking point. And he has scored against Liverpool. He has a record, a historical record of scoring against Liverpool Football Club. Martinelli does. I don't know how much that plays on the manager. Because, you know, you have some teams that just scores against us, like Jota. Whether he started or he came onto the club, he always scored against us. You know, some guys just score against some teams. It's just one of them ones. But joining me today, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Jersey. I think you're in studio, yeah?
I am. I am.
Yeah.
Hello.
So
Yeah.
big up
Yeah.
to
I'm back
Gary.
home.
Don't waste the
Thanks.
chip. Wait a minute, man.
Thanks for having
Pardon
me
my
on,
man.
Trevon.
Pardon
Everybody
my
in the
man.
chat. Yep.
Big up to the chat. Big up. If I'm do my Thanos step, boom, and I make you Mikel for the weekend, and let's just say Benjamin White has overcome his physical discomfort, Gary. Do you, because I've seen Mikel do this before and it's worked when he's put a right-footed player at left back. I've seen him do it with Tommy Yasu against this very Liverpool team. I would argue a better Liverpool front line at that, because that was Sadio Mane, Bobby Firmino, Mo Salah front line. I think that one was better than this one, and it worked. Tamiyasu actually locked him up because he's comfortable on his right foot when Mo Salah cuts in. Do you think that's something that's playing on Mikel's brain?
Ooh, when you put it that way, I didn't even think of it like that. But I do remember that game when everybody was bigging up Tomiyasu that day. He did a really good
Massive
job.
performance.
Did a
Massive
really good.
performance. Locked him up. Locked him up.
Yeah, did a really good job. And I think, I mean, that's the ask, right? And if you put Calafiori in there, then our attack threatens them, and I think their defense isn't as strong as it has been. But it opens up Gabriel, and we saw that against Manchester United. So what do you do? I do we want to try to win 4-2, or do we want to try to win 2-1? Because that's the thing. Sometimes it's like I would like to win 4-2. I know that's asking a lot on the road, but I'm just saying, like, that's the kind of team that we have. We can do that. The Arteta will err on the side of maybe we'll just get a 2-1 lead, but that's kind of where we've been the last couple of years, taking leads and not being able to hold on. So at some point, we have to take that. You're gonna have to decide whether or not, you know what, maybe we do get that 2-goal lead and we hold on, as opposed to the 1-goal lead and we let it slide and then people get upset, right? So which risk do you want to take?
Yeah.
Which one do you? Because I mean, in all those games, right, we looked really good, but we didn't get the win in some of them because of that, because we didn't have that, because of the way we were working things out. So
Yeah.
kind of that's my thinking when you like decide how you want to go with your fullbacks and what you allow them to. I think if Calafiori, for example, were to play, then I'm expecting us to try to be able to put some pressure on them through our attack, because he spends more time up there than some of our attackers sometimes.
He does indeed,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, and Gabriel has to get on his get on his horse and get make sure that left attacker gets covered, right? So that's kind of where I'm like, got to get out there, because I mean, in Bueno, if that's the amount of chances in Bueno got, that can't be Salah getting those same chances. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that. So just from I'm just going by what I saw. So I just think if we do that, Gabriel just has to get there quicker, and we know Saliba's behind him, so he's got coverage, even if he's chasing. Right? If he's chasing, Saliba's there, but more than likely he'll be there sooner than later. And will they even make that pass?
Yeah.
Will they even make? Because like they were making that pass because he just wasn't getting there soon enough. But whereas if you have Timber, he's not going to go. He's not going to jet up the field as hard and as deep, right? And leave things wide open there. So I kind of felt like at some point we're going to have to try to get those 3 and 4 goals, as opposed to be able to just be defensively stout, because we talk about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Defense is good. Can we give the offense a little bit more freedom and give the attack a little bit more freedom?
Yeah.
Take your pick. Which one? I think we can do either one, and game state will dictate what we do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Liverpool will come out a lot better than they have in the last 2 games, because everybody plays up for us, right?
Yeah.
It's no matter of how long it lasts for.
I hear it. Yeah, big up to the chat, by the way. I see we got 29 locked in. Make sure we're hitting those likes, people, and make sure you are subbing to Gary's channel, just like Cooper just told us that he has subbed to Gary. And Gary, listen, man, you're a public figure, okay? Pay the man his money. Just pay the man. Just Waffle Don, he's gonna pay you today, my brother. Just send him your details.
Why am I paying now? What am I paying for? What am I paying?
I don't know what bet you lost, but you need to pay the man his money. All right, you are G Money. They call you G Money for me, so you have it. So just
Oh
pay the
man,
man.
as a
Big up to
man said,
Klopp.
I'm cooler than a fan, cooler than a fan. You know.
Yeah. So Gary, so all right, man. So we know who our striker is gonna be at Anfield on Sunday. I'm of the opinion that because in years gone by, matches gone by, Arnslot or Klopp would know what our front line was gonna be, right? Arnslot would know it would be Martinelli, Havertz, and Saka. Um, this weekend he does not. We don't. I don't think he knows either. So I think that's advantage us that he doesn't know who he needs to prepare for. Now we know that it's probably going to be Gyökeres. High probability, probably 99.999%, right? Right wing, left wing, not so sure, right? So um Madueke on the right, right? That can you make a case for Madueke on the right based on this 10-minute cameo over there?
I can, because
Go for it.
we know that we've seen it with Martinelli, right? That wingers with pace will give them problems, and I don't think their defense is as stout as it's been. I think they're
Hmm.
still trying to work things out, so we can catch them early in the season when they're still working things out. And Madueke can put a little bit of pressure on them. And what I saw in the last game, it looks like he'd be all right to handle the responsibilities of coming back and supporting like Arteta wants. He's
Hmm.
probably not as good as Martinelli, but I don't care. I really don't care. Like I'll take. I want more from what I saw in the last game because it looked different. He's putting pressure on their attackers, trying to take the ball off of them deep in their attacking in their defensive third. Right, he took the ball
Hmm.
off of them, and they got called for a foul. But I want more of that, like as opposed to the sound defense on the way, tracking back to our goal. I like the fact that he will actually put some pressure on them as well, and maybe take the ball off of them, and do a quick counter, like So no, I would like to see him. So I think that's. I mean, I think that's where we're going, anyways, right?
Hmm.
While we don't have all of our wings in, and then I guess if you're going to ask me who else plays, I'm like torn now because it's like, is Erdegaard healthy? If he isn't, does Nweri get a start, or does Eze get the start?
Now,
And then like I like personally, I would have liked to see Nweri and Eze get starts on the weekend, which means Nweri will sit in front of Rice and Zubimendi, because I think
mhm,
if he's got those two behind him, he doesn't have to worry. He shouldn't have to worry as much, right?
mhm,
We know when you put Erdegaard back there, you don't have to worry at all. But I kind of like the attacking style of an Nweri, and you know, I believe he'll learn. He'll be quicker to get that ball out.
yeah,
We know when he shoots it out, but last game he held on to that ball when he should have passed a little bit too long and lost it a couple of times. One we ended up getting a goal out of it when Rice was able to tip the ball away after he lost the ball. But I think he'll just get better each time he gets a minute an extra minute in the game. So I would like to see that. I know a lot of people like if Erdegaard's healthy, he plays. I get
mhm,
that, but I would as a should starting regardless. Find a spot wherever he's starting. It's not his health isn't an issue. He just took a week off. That's all. Right? He's playing. He's been playing football. He took a week off while all this transfer business was happening, so he's good to go. And right now with the injuries we have, he starts. All right. There's a big
So,
question. Yeah, yeah. So
so I'm
that's how I would go. I don't know
yeah.
if that.
So you would go with Gyökeres, um, Madueke right wing, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but where's Eze starting? Is he
I
starting the 10 for you, or are you starting left wing?
I'm I would put him at left. I would just get him on the pitch. Uh,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
so
And
Martinelli sits then.
oh yes,
Because
yes.
historically he performs well against Liverpool. I'm thinking even at the Emirates last year he scored. He scored last year to get us back in for the 2-2 equalizer. The year we were up 2-0 that when we let him back in, he scored. Even when we beat him 3-2 at the Emirates in the 2022-2023 season, he scores against this team. I don't know if pace troubles Liverpool more than anything else, but he's always finds a goal against these people. But so yeah, Eze is a must start for me. I would prefer him in the 10, but if he has to be shoehorned in the team, I'm okay with that. But Eze needs to be on the pitch. I cannot see that guy on the bench. That would as they start saying, okay, we're going for 3 points. I don't want to be at Anfield. Okay, let's play for a draw and we might win. I want us to go for 3 points going into the international break. So he's a must start for me. Who are you starting at left back?
Left back. Ooh.
Because Calafiori has started well, but he hasn't
Yeah.
faced the right winger like this guy.
Yeah,
The
no,
guy that he's going to see on Sunday, he hasn't seen
yeah,
anything like this.
yeah, no, I kind of felt like, I guess. So who do we have right? Who do we have right now? Because White is out, so it's either you got Timber, you've got Calafiori, and you got Skelly. I kind of feel like we I guess for me, I'm starting. As far as my fullbacks go, I guess Skelly and Timber is starting. So as my left back, I believe that would be Skelly. But I guess it's I know I'd rather have Timber there. I don't know if you can switch that and switch them a little bit because I think Skelly usually plays left. So uh,
Yeah,
I
but
think I think you're rolling dices each way, right? Which one are you doing, right? You're
yeah,
rolling dices each way, so I'm a little torn each way because I'm like I want to put Timber. I believe is better on the right, if I recall, right? But I could play him on the left and know that defensively we're stout, and then they're gonna have to figure out what they're gonna do, what Liverpool's gonna do on the other side. So for me, I guess if Timber could play if they want to put Timber on the left, I'll be okay with it. But if Calafiori plays, I kind of like I said, it's a catch-22. Which one do you want? Do you want us to try
mhm.
to get if we're trying to get the 3 points, or are we just trying to manage to see the game out and then maybe catch it at the end? I rather just control a game like we did most of last season, right? Most of last season, we had leads in games, right?
Mhm.
And we drop points, we've dropped points in a game like this. So at some point, we're gonna have to take that risk. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, I know Timber on the left makes sense, but I kind of yeah, because I think he usually plays right if I recall, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, he's
I
predominantly played right, but
yeah.
in the in
So
the in the, in the first game of the
yeah.
season that he did his ACL,
Mhm.
he started that game left back.
Yeah. No, no,
Uh,
I loved him when he played there,
yeah,
but we've seen him
yeah,
at the right, and we know that works even better. So, what do
yeah.
like for me? I always go by the case of do I want to weaken one of my sides to put a play on the other side, right? Or do I want to make us strong on as much in most of the places and win those battles and not have to worry at all, right? And then
Hmm.
give a little bit more support to the other side if that's the case, right? Because Scully's going to need a little bit of support, but he's got Gabriel right there,
Hmm.
right? Gabriel's not going to have to worry about Skelly bombing up the field and being trapped inside, in the middle of the pitch. He's not going to have to worry about that as much. So Gabriel doesn't have to deal with what we saw in the first game of the season because Skelly's going to
Yeah.
be there most of the time, but he can get beat. That's Skelly's still learning. He's learning a position that's not really his, right? So, do you put? I'm torn. I'm torn. I saw everybody talking about. So before I forget, I saw everybody talking about the 10 for Eze. The only reason
Hmm.
why I would I would move away from that is because I believe I'd rather try to get the 3 goals than just the 2 goals and a solid and a perfect defense.
I
So
think this is what he's going to start with.
yeah,
I
yeah,
really think this is what he's going to do.
yeah. No,
I
I
think.
can see that. But like I said, the only number 6 there, Gabriel. He's gonna have he has to get his head on a swivel and know where Salah is, like
Yeah.
yesterday. Like if Salah comes off the bus, right, to walk into the stadium, Gabriel's right there. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Because he knows that Calafiori is gonna bomb. Which like it's twofold, right? Calafiori bombs, we get bombs up the pitch. We put more pressure on their attack because now we've got an Calafiori out there creating havoc,
Hmm.
right? And then Gabriel's there to clean up any kind of attack from them. So that's kind of my thinking there. Or you go with Skelly. You got more of a defensive style player there. Who's not going to bomb up the pitch. Take your pick. Which one do you want? Do you want to do we want to go in there and punch them in the mouth early,
Hmm.
or do we want to take some body blows from them?
Yeah.
I don't know which one you
Now,
want. Which kind of boxer are you? Is the question.
yeah. So, I actually don't want to see Odegaard playing this game. I really don't. I think, you were hurt enough to come out in the first half. Last Sunday. Okay, you
Yeah,
you have an international break to fully heal,
yeah,
sit, down. We have
Yeah.
cover for
Yeah.
you. If we didn't sign Eze, I could understand you being rushed back. If we didn't have Ethan, I can understand you being rushed back. But sit down. Sit down. We won 5-0. We scored 4 goals without you the other day. Sit down. I understand. Now, if Odegaard doesn't play, now it creates a whole another domino effect of conflict, right? So now, does he move Eze into the 10 and play Martinelli on at left wing because of his historical performance and his defensive work rate to cover for Calafiori, who likes to bump forward? That's a fair question. But if he's gonna just replace Odegaard the same way he did in the Leeds game with Nwaneri and attack him with, like you said, Zubimendi and Rice protecting him, I think that will give Liverpool problems because Nwaneri plays the ball quickly. I kind of like it when he drops his shoulder and go past. So he drops his shoulder and he goes past Sabazlai or McAllister or Gravenberch, right? When he does that, or Eze does that, what happens now is it forces Van Dijk or Kanate to make a decision. Okay, do you come towards Eze or Ethan and vacate the space for Gyökeres to be one-on-one with Allison? Or do you back off and give Eze space to run into? I really think that would give him trouble.
Yeah.
But this is in a perfect world with everyone being fit. I think if we if we had picked this lineup, if he puts this lineup, um, I think we could really beat
Yeah.
Liverpool.
No, no. Yeah, you see that. I mean, that's what I want. So if
Yeah,
you ask me what I want, that's what I want right there. Everybody's like, "Oh
yeah,
no, Madueke should play the 10." I'm like,
yeah.
he's just come off playing, on the left side a couple of games, anyways.
Hmm.
And then if it doesn't work, if you see if like this is the thing, if it doesn't work, Arteta can then make that adjustment. He can then bring in Trossard or Martinelli, and then where maybe it's too soon, which is fine.
Hmm.
Maybe it's too soon, but I'd rather him take that chance and maybe it pan out, and then we're laughing at halftime. Then we don't do that. And like for me, you have like say Martinelli starting, and we're screaming at Martinelli again. How often are we screaming at Martinelli? Right?
Hmm.
We scream at him all the time, right?
Yep, all
you
the
know.
time.
Oh,
Hold
so
your head up. Pick your head up. Yeah.
so that's the thing. You know what you're gonna get. It hasn't changed yet. He's on the, he's not necessarily on the market, but you know, I think he should be for his career. He needs to get more football. He's not going to get it with us, So if we're fully healthy, I don't think he gets the minutes he's going to expect to get at this time in his career. So yeah, no, I like that second lineup. That's what I want,
Yeah.
and I think that's what will get us give us better odds to get the 3 points.
Yeah.
It'd
What
be
I
nice
want
to have
is
a nice quiet Anfield with 30 minutes to go is kind of a dream.
what I want is I want us to go to Anfield and make Liverpool uncomfortable, right? They're already at home. If you make them uncomfortable at home, you give yourself a chance for that 4-2. You know, I
Mhm.
really think a 4-2 would be much more satisfying than a 2-0. Like we came to your ground and put, I'm sure David Raya would love the 2-0 clean sheet. But we go to Anfield and we put 4 past you. That would, even though it's a 2-goal margin, that would be a bigger statement win, right? And like I know Liverpool are the Premier League champs and Liverpool will be up for this game, but the facts of the situation are we just seen them concede 2 goals to a 10-man Newcastle side off 2 set pieces. Who are the kings of set pieces in the Premier League? Who did they try to banter and laugh at for only scoring set piece goals? It's us. Set piece again, ole ole. We are really good at set pieces. So if we can get one off set piece, I think we scored in a set piece each game, right?
Yep, yep,
So
yep.
yeah,
Yes, we
so
have.
we can.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that'd be some kind of record there that Arteta can, the first team in Premier League history to score of a set piece 3 match weeks in a row. I'm here for it.
Yep.
But
As long as the ball goes in the net, I don't care. If we get 5 set piece goals in one game, I'm
yeah,
laughing because we got 5 goals. So
yeah. So I do like the fact that we don't know what our team is going to be. I think there is some kind of competitive advantage there for us, right? Because for all intents and purposes, we know what Liverpool front three is going to be, right? It's going to be Salah, Ekitike, and Gakpo, and I don't really do the chess thing, but I have chess for our defense. I've seen our 2 center backs keep the best attacks in the world quiet. Gabriel, I've seen you do this before. If we go there and play the match, instead of the occasion, the grand old occasion, or Liverpool at Anfield, and we're trying to take a Premier League title from. I think we'll be okay. I
Yeah,
think we will. Yeah.
yeah. No, we should be able to lean on our defense. As much as look at all the injuries we had last season, and it didn't help. It didn't affect us as much. The defense
Yeah.
wasn't our problem in most of those games.
Hmm.
Could they hold up for 90 minutes against Liverpool? Probably not, but not too many teams can.
I
You know
think
what I
so.
mean? So
I think we
you know,
can.
no, we can, but I'm saying you can't be relying on that for 38 games
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna have to at some
Yeah.
point the offense, the attack's gonna have to stand up and say, "Look, I got you this day. On this day, I got you." And you know what?
Mhm.
The sooner they get to that 2-goal lead, the sooner the defense is like, all right, now we can just lock them down, right? That's what you want. You want your defense playing with a little bit more confidence that they can get, they get the wins in the bag now. It's time to like, shut them out, right? Shut them down, kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
because you
Um.
see it all the time, right? With teams, right? Their defense is strong, the offense is weak, and you're like, and at some point, one of the defensive captain walks over to the attacking captain is like, can you help
Yeah.
us out here, please? We don't have,
Yeah. 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 Big up to the chat. We got 31 locked in people. Appreciate you checking in. Big up to Aaron Talks Arsenal. My God, what a geezer. Make sure you are subscribed to Aaron Talks Football if you haven't already. I'm pretty sure most of you have. And make sure you are subscribing to Gary as well. So Gary, 3 points. Is it who needs 3 points more? Us or them?
We need the 3 points more.
On the road, yeah?
Yep. On the road, we need the 3 points more. It sets a
When?
statement, right? It sets a
Mhm.
statement, and we don't. The next time we play them, they might have both Isak and Ekatike playing. You know, so
Yeah.
we get it. You got to get these. You know what? Arteta has to learn. You got to play all 38. We've seen over the last couple of years we've either started strong or started or finished strong, but we haven't done it all the way through. There's always these time periods, pockets of games. No, last season we saw Liverpool just get through those first 10 games. I've listened to multiple times Liverpool fans talk about if we can get through those first 10 games,
Mhm.
we're good. We can't be like dropping points. They haven't dropped any points. They've looked like they're going to drop points, and they haven't dropped any. You want to? That's what they're happy to do that. We need to do a similar thing. So that's why this game, a lot of people are going to say it'll come out to be a draw because both teams, we can't be losing this thing, right?
Mhm.
It's important to us because we need to be the one the trendsetters. We know we can finish up strong, right? We know we can do that. We've done it
Yeah.
before. We know we can start strong, so we just got to put it together. So for me, it's for us, and then we'll see what everybody else what if they can catch up because that's what we need to do. We're gonna we have to. I don't really want to have to catch people because then we're depending on other things to happen. At some point we just got to do it for ourselves and not worry about what other teams are doing. So that's kind of how I feel it should go. It needs to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. I'm very. I like the fact that we're going there match week 3 before they've had a chance to gel, because right now they don't look like they're fully
Mm.
functioning as a well-oiled machine. I think Verts is finding the Premier League adjustment to be an adjustment. He hasn't really kicked on yet. And like you said, when we go there when they come to the Emirates on 7 January, this could be an entirely different Liverpool. So, if we handle our business now, I'd much rather go there now than match week 30 something needing to win, right? The same way, I'd rather go to Old Trafford the first week of the season and get 3 points, because I've made this hot take, Gary. I've made this hot take, and the United fans came for me. I'm gonna make this hot take, and let me know if you agree, right? Or if I'm crazy, because I've said that Manchester United will not lose to their two biggest rivals at home in the same season. So the fact that we went there and took 3 points from them, I think they'll be up for it again. And they might not beat Liverpool at home at OT, but they might get some from them,
Mm.
right? Was I crazy
No,
for
no,
saying
I,
so?
I, I, bel- I like that. I like that
Yeah,
because it helps because we already got the win for
yeah,
sure. You said it
and that's
before,
what I'm
but we
saying.
already got the win now. So
Yep.
for
So
sure.
that's why I wasn't panicking when the
Yeah,
schedule came out. But I'd be like, no, I
yeah,
want to go to Anfield early. I
yeah,
actually wish we were going to City early. I
yeah,
wish it was an away game.
yeah,
They're coming
yeah,
to us in a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Because
But
it's Manchester United Liverpool is still the biggest
yeah,
fixture in English football. Them two. And I seen the dead version of Man United last year go to Anfield and draw 2-2 and had a chance to win it. So they get up for the big games, right? It's the small teams that usually turn them over, the Bournemouths and those other teams of the world. But yeah, there's something. I think it's a fantastic front line, Kwaja. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of goals in there, but they haven't hit stride yet. And if you take football is not a linear sport, but if you take this front line as good as they are, our defense is pretty good too, right? I don't know what do they call it when it's what is it?
Stalemate.
A stalemate, yeah, or it could be the unstoppable force hits the immovable object and something, it's dang, something has to happen.
Yeah.
What do you make of this Henkapai? Not sure how
I actually did look up some of the. The thing is, he wants to come and we'll play him, and he's okay to play in that role. I think to some degree we set up Kirior to want to leave because we didn't trust him. Arteta didn't trust him enough. He should have been playing. He's a center back. You bring him in. You let him play center back. I mean, think about it. Remember his first game? He came in as a left back at Anfield with a 2-1 lead. It wasn't his fault. Well, no, he came in after we gave up the lead, I think.
Yeah.
To shut it down. It was like too late at that point, right?
Yeah.
We had a 2-1 lead and we let it slide. Then we brought him in, and you're like, if you have trust enough to put a player in his first game in Anfield on the road, then he can play a lot more football than that. If you know what I mean? And Arteta did not do that season. So I kind of felt like, you know what? He's probably like, yeah, I need to go get me some football. And then what he did against Real Madrid and against PSG, I think it is. He looked really comfortable out there, right? So yeah, he should get more football. He should feel like he can get more, and I think we set him up. So players that want to come and have and are okay with the roles that are being set up by Arteta, bring him. He's a young player, right? I think Henekapi is how you say his name.
I'm not sure. I've heard about 5 variations.
Yeah,
when I hear Peter Drury say it, I'll get it. But okay, that's what it is.
I haven't said his name out loud, but
I just call him
I say,
Piero.
you know what, I kid. I'm like, we always have to get a defender, and I don't like. Only way I'm happy with a defender is if we still have at least 2 more attackers coming in. That's because I still think I want 2 more attackers, not necessarily because we need them, because I think we have enough to get by, to get a job done, but 2 more because I want the odds to be forever in our favor. I want more odds to be on our favor that, you know what, you're not having a good day, I can bring on somebody else who can do the job as well. We need that.
And big up to Sheldon. Sheldon said Liverpool signed 2 dead fullbacks. Was I right or was I right? I would love to beat them on 2 set piece. Yeah, the thing is, their fullbacks. Slot might change it for us. He might not like what he saw Szoboszlai doing at fullback versus Newcastle and play was that Connor Bradley or whoever. He might change that. So I do believe Kirkes and Szoboszlai at right back can be got at. So yeah, man. I actually think Madueke should be due for a big game. Like Nani, if you want to make Arsenal fans love you, my brother, if you want to steal the hearts of Arsenal fans this weekend, do us a solid. Yeah, do us a solid and put whoever they put, at left back. You put them on their butt and you put one in the top corner, and all those people who signed that petition will send you a public apology, my brother.
Every once in a while, those Chelsea players do show up, right? Everybody's complaining about them, and then they do show up, and then you look back and go, well, they gave me something. We always talk about let's get something, right? Well, they gave us something, so we're expecting the same from him. He looks like he's got the fire and he wants to do it. So, I'm looking. Yeah, like you said, somebody needs to. Who's going to show up this week? And I think that's the nice thing about our team. Yeah, it can come from anywhere. Is Gyökeres going to be hungry to get that 3rd goal? Right? Either a nice little tap in or a strike. Whichever you take your pick. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. So if I want Nani to give Saka a selection headache when he gets back, I want him to make Saka uncomfortable when he gets back into the squad. Like, okay, this guy performed well in my absence, and I know that the manager, on merit, he deserves to play. But because I am Bukayo Saka and I have credit in the bank, I'm going to play. But he can't be just comfortable knowing that if he drops a stinker after
Mm.
stinker, Nani's just gonna sit there. No, I want Nani to bang. And if you're playing against a makeshift back line, Kanate's look shaky. I expect like Nani must rise, man. He must rise. I hear him. Big up to Yudi from Loudmouth Football, my brother, Liverpool fan. Hey, Yudi, we need to talk. Thank you for the super chat, but we need to talk, my bro. I watched your video this morning, and man, is so in a nice little segue, and thank you, Yudi. There's a huge talking point about just how deep and how good our squad is right now, right? Because in years gone by, and I will concede this, Gary, that in years gone by, if we're going to Anfield and we lost our captain and our starboard player, we would be nervous. The entire fan base would be on eggshells, regardless of how good our defense is. We're going to go to Anfield and we're going to try to stink out a nil-all draw because we have nothing for Liverpool. But because we have Eze, because of the explosion of a Max Dowman and Ethan proved last year that he belonged, and he has came on and done well. Our squad depth, like, do we really have the best squad in the league, or is it just Arsenal fans doing Arsenal fans things and overhyping it?
I think we're right. We're definitely up there as
Yeah.
far as I think so. Yeah. Because I mean, just think about it, the first game of the season, we had issues with some of our starters, and and Timber and Skelly had to come off the bench. You've got Mascara right there also. You got Madueke on the bench. Healthy Havertz on the bench. I mean, how many teams can say they got that? All right, and now we're talking about bringing in Hincape, right? Right, that's another player. We didn't even have Curio on the bench the first time we played. So I mean,
Mhm.
we've got players who don't even get a shirt that have started for us that can start for us. I mean, we didn't have that before, all right? Most of the time, those players sitting in the 25th and through the 22nd spot, you're like, they don't matter. They're not going to play anyways, right? Now we've got players that are going to play for us right now, right? So I think we're pretty deep, and we definitely got two across the back, right? Kepper behind Rhea, we'll take in that. Norgard behind Zubimendi, got it,
Mm,
right? Depending on what you do with Skelly, you've got Skelly or Moreno behind Rice, right? And
mm,
Wary and Eze behind Erdegaard, if that's one of the options you have. Or you know what? If we do bring in that left wing, what we've got two across the board right now, and and
yeah.
and good quality there as well. So I kind of felt like yes, across the board we can handle the situation we're in right now, where if Erdegaard and Saka don't play and White doesn't play, right?
Hmm.
We're not dropping that bad as we have in the past, right? We
Yeah.
lose Saliba late in the season, and a lot of people are calling that's the reason why we lost the opportunity to win a trophy. No, not anymore. We got answers now, all right? We got answers now.
Yeah.
So I think we are pretty. I think we're. I don't know who's deeper than us because a lot of teams will have really good attackers or really good defenders, but they don't have both. And
Hmm.
I think now we've shown that we can have both if everything pans out. That definitely with the quality and the talent
Hmm.
we're bringing in. So yeah, no, I think for me it's probably it might I don't know I want to say the midfield, but it's not really the midfield either. You know,
Yeah.
I think
Um,
it's yeah.
Big up to the Waffle Don with this
Hmm.
£2 super chat. Big up to you, my bro. You know you didn't have to do that, my brother. You know it's love, but thank you so much, man, for
Thank
my
you.
day one always supporting me, man. My brother, there's nothing no one can tell me about this guy, my brother, the Waffle Don. But it wasn't too long ago, Gary. I'm guilty of this, and I'll own up to it. I'm very guilty of this. That it wasn't too long ago that I was saying that right back is the only position that I'm comfortable with the depth, right? But that was before we got Eze. That was before Gyökeres. When I'm looking at the depth for a striker as Jesus and Havertz, and and that's part of it is because I don't think that Skelly is an out and out left back. Because if he is gonna always line up at left back, and okay, I'm cool with it because Calafiori has started well, right? And last year a lot of people were on to Calafiori. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give him one more year. It's his first year in the Premier League. We've seen better players come to the Premier League and have a hard time adjusting, i.e., a Florian Wirtz. Like he is struggling right now trying to adjust to Premier League football. We've seen Sesko at Man United struggling to adapt to Premier League football. It's difficult. So I was always gonna give him a second year. But with Eze coming in, and someone put in the chat yesterday, right? And let me know if you agree with this. Your thoughts on this? That in a creative space, you can make a legitimate argument in a creative space in that 10 part of the pitch. With four names, they laid out the argument that Odegaard could be number 4 on the list. It could be Eze, Ethan, Max, Odegaard, and I was like, shit. And I thought about it, but like, Max is really good, but he hasn't played, a whole lot of football. But I'm thinking, okay, I didn't look at it like that, right? And that's why I like to engage with the chat, because it was a well laid out argument, just how Max can come in as a kid and make defenses look so uncomfortable. And I think part of that is Odegaard, because he is the captain. I think he feels the need, like he needs to be a point guard, like he needs to get everyone a touch. Like Chris Paul will have a wide open shot and pass it to someone for someone, to get a basket. Do you think that the captain armband kind of weighs him down? Because he does make a lot of safe passes, to where people were saying the game went up a level when Ethan came on, because Ethan was taking risk, trying to break the lines, and the game kind of picked up. You think the captain armband is kind of holding him back a little bit from wanting to actually play?
I can't believe that. I don't believe that Arteta is telling him to do some of the things he's doing. You know what I mean? Like sacrifice opportunities for us to score with the way you're playing. I don't believe that's happening. I can't believe we're sitting there. We need a goal, and then we're going to continue to play the same kind of stale attack that we have. We're being safe. We're not taking any risks, right? And he doesn't feel the need to take the shot when he gets it, right? We've seen a little bit of that this season. We've seen him take the shot. I think he's still taking an extra touch. But just take that shot first time and let's see how it goes, because I believe he's got a good foot on him. So I kind of feel it might be in his head, and it could be like he's listening to the coach too. The coach is I don't think the coach is saying you have to do these things and that's it. If you step out of this line, we're in trouble, because I don't think that's the case. I don't believe so, because the way I see our defense coached, they get freedom when they get in certain positions on when they are in the attacking third. Our defenders look like our attackers should be, right? They're like giggling, smiling from ear to ear, like, I'm about to get a goal here. We should be looking the same way, right? When we're putting that attack in, you can see, like, I think it could be the armband, but whatever it is, Arteta needs to smack him, wake him up or whatever it is. You got to be better than this, because as you said, like for me and Weary, will want to take that shot. Don't give him the space; he'll take it. Right? He just needs to now work on getting that ball out quicker, because I would have liked to see what happens on that one attack in the last game where you got Dowman up top with some space to let him run in and see what happens there when you a dead sprint, and then so no. It could be the armband, but I think it's in his head, that he's overthinking what Arteta is saying. Yeah. Ross is like, I hate that extra touch. Yeah, I'm all about, like, you guys don't practice taking extra touches in practice. You take it first time, right?
Yeah.
They take it first time, right? They let the ball roll across them, and then they take it. They don't touch it to slow it down, get the defense into position, and then 2 feet away, the defender's there, like, you got to go around me, and we're kicking it right into their shins. Nah, you know what I mean? Take that first time, punish them for not doing their job. We don't do that enough.
Yeah. The fact that we laid out depth, we're talking about depth, and we didn't mention Trossard, that we didn't, mention and Max, to the extent, and that's with massive injuries to our front line, does speak to a lot of depth. So I can hear the depth argument. It's just that the Zubimendi to Norgard drop off, I kind of worry there. I'm not gonna lie. I would prefer sometimes, if Zubimendi is gonna rotate, you drop Declan back. Right? You play Declan in the 6. I think Declan does some great cleanup work. And I did like some things that Arteta did against Leeds, but part of it, I'm thinking, like, okay, did he do that because of Leeds, or would he have done that against, another team, right? Because I don't think
see it, though. He's got to see it. So for me, he's got to see it. That's the good thing. That's the only good part. That's a good part I think about it. He got to see it and see if it actually works, and then he might be, as you say, a little bit more comfortable doing that in the situations where it's deemed necessary. Because he won't. I think if he doesn't see it, he won't trust it. Right? If he doesn't see a player playing in their preferred position, He don't
Mm,
trust it, and then when he's forced to do it, then he's trusting of it. And it's like you should have saw that in practice. You should have
yeah,
saw that when you were scouting them and bringing them in. You know, that's
yeah.
why like last season. I mean, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I
So in
can.
the Leeds game, right, when Odegaard went down in the 37th minute, we were leading 1-0. Scenario for you: do you think if we were if that was the 73rd minute, he brings on Ethan, or does he bring in Moreno and try to shore up and see it
Oh
out?
no, yeah, I know, yeah.
Yes. So I don't know if he was forced to, but I did like the decision to go directly to Ethan. Like
Hmm.
he showed trust. It is a newly promoted team, but it's a Premier League team. We've seen West Ham get slapped up by Sunderland, but newly promoted. Like it can happen. And
Yeah.
David Raya did make a great save to keep us in the game there. So Leeds did show us something. But I'm inclined to believe that if it was a little later in the game instead of Ethan, it might have been Moreno to come in and see
But
out
you
the
know what?
game.
But you okay? But there's as you said, there's context to that.
Yes.
When there's like another, uh, another 50, 60, almost 60 minutes essentially left in football.
Mm,
Yeah, you can't just sit there and hold on to it. Or as Moreno comes in, you're thinking to slow it down. Even though I don't, I think many people will tell you I don't even want Moreno to come in ever. Like we just wasted money is what I think a
I
lot of
don't
people
think
will
so.
tell you.
So
Well,
I
is
think
it
we got
no in the
something again.
midfield? In the midfield, if I told you we've got a 1 goal lead and Eucharist is probably hitting the red line because it's been one of those type of games, and you brought Moreno
Mm,
in late, and people are like, why are you doing that? And like we've seen Moreno can actually come in there, right, and take a header from Ethan and put it away,
mm.
right? So all right, I get that. Then you can see that, but in the midfield, yeah, he's scary there, right? It's scary in him in the midfield. I think.
You think so?
I'd rather put Skelly in the midfield and rotate a fullback in if I had to put if Moreno was the option. All right, if you're like, all right, I got a midfielder, and I've got Skelly on the sideline. He's still on the pitch. He can finish off this game, and I've got another fullback on the bench. Which one do I do?
I think Norgard is a bigger risk in our midfield than
Yeah,
Moreno is,
yeah.
honestly.
I
Because I actually think Moreno is actually good and comfortable with the ball at his feet. Because he has tech, he's just slow.
yeah,
He's very slow and he's an aerial monster. But I've never been the guy to believe in speed. One of the best DMs I've seen in the past 10, 15 years was one of the slowest DMs in Sergio Busquets. He was never
mm,
fast, but his tech was unreal. Not
yeah,
saying that Moreno is at that level, but I think Moreno has something to offer in the midfield. And it's
yeah,
one of them ones where
yeah,
if we're playing against certain teams and Zubimendi has to get a rest and he drops Declan Rice and plays Moreno with him in the window with Zubi, I think we can. I think that'd be enough to get 3 points against a West
yeah,
Ham or a Wolves. Like you don't have to
yeah.
play the big guns every single game. Um,
Well, Norgard did. I mean, he was the captain, so he started most of the games.
mm,
And Bournemouth, right? He came from Bournemouth, right? Bournemouth
mhm,
had a good team. Whether not the same levels as other teams, but had a good team. It wasn't going to be easy. So
yeah.
for me, I hear what you're saying, but I think he can get a job done. Maybe it'll look different. Maybe
Mhm,
we have to adjust, as you say, maybe a little bit, the way he plays. But I think he can help one close out games for us, kind of like more of that Jorginho type. You bring in a player like that, he can come in and help you close out games because we missed that, and Arteta didn't trust Jorginho to do it.
mhm.
You bring in a Norgard, you better trust he can come in and help you close out games when you need to, right? So I hear you. I guess for me, Moreno, I guess I'm less trusting of him in the midfield than I am up top. So either way, I can see. What did you see? What do you see from Moreno in the midfield that gives you the confidence he can get the job done? If we, if it was a case of taking off Rice or Zubimendi, one of those two have to come out.
I remember last year. I think we were playing against Chelsea, and when he came on, and his his ability to hold up the ball and wait for the space to open up without losing it is something that I think is underrated in football. Because as a defensive midfielder, sometimes the guys that you're playing with don't read or make the right runs. Sometimes it's like a quarterback. Sometimes you have to play guys open. You got to throw the guy open. I've seen him do that against a Chelsea midfield. That I actually rate Chelsea's midfield of Enzo, and Caicedo and Lavia. And I saw him come in and did a wicked cameo. I like people who are good with the ball at their feet. Now he's just very, very slow, and he can win some aerial duels. And even Liverpool at home last year, he scored a massive, massive goal, and he can strike a ball cleanly. So for that diagonal switch when the ball is being predominantly played on one side, that diagonal switch, I think he can make that pass as well. But before you go, man, I don't know if you do prediction shows. Do you do prediction shows on your channel?
I don't do prediction shows, but I can give you a prediction if you want one.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm gonna put you on the hot seat. Anfield on Sunday. Will I be starting this stream like this or like this?
I think you're gonna have to cover your mouth, man. You got to cover your mouth. No, like you said, our defense I think will be stout. I think our attack with Eze on there will give us some life. The team's gonna want to big up for him when he comes out there, right? So this is a good time to catch Liverpool. Yes, they've had some close ones, and at some point they're gonna have to have one of those games where I don't think we're winning today, and that needs to be like for us. That needs to be come Sunday, right? So for me, yeah, you covering your mouth. We definitely have the defense to keep us in the game, and it's a matter of how we figure out how we're going to attack with what we got. So as far as the score line for me, I had 4-2 would be the dream, but I'm gonna say 3-1. It's gonna be like 2-1, and then we're gonna have to get that second goal and then see it out. Think about it. Last time we played them at home, right? We had that 2-1 lead. We lost. I think it was Saliba, and then we kind of let them back in. It's good if we get that similar situation, and we need to close it out this time. So. But
that was a makeshift back line that we finished that game with. Gabriel didn't play, or he didn't play, or he came off because he had.
We had somebody come off. I thought it was Saliba, but
So we had a makeshift back line, man. It was so brand new, and we did not lose that game. So and then Mikel is good against the big six and the top six. So I'm here for it. But hey, Gary, thank you for coming on, my bro. Let the people know what you got coming up on. Don't waste the trip. I think most of us are subscribed to you anyway, but let us know what you got going on, man.
Thanks for having me on, Devon. Everybody in the chat, thanks for joining us. Make sure you hit the likes and subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, the show will be on Saturday. I might not make it, but I'll have my my trusty co-host will be there as we do like our little match day show at 3 p.m. UK time. But on Monday we'll be talking Arsenal at 12:30 a.m. UK time about the game. Hopefully we're talking about Devon with his hands around his face. I'm talking about. That's all I got. I'm not. Here's the thing. I don't want to do that mask thing. I haven't done it yet. I don't want to do it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I think it's cringe or something. I don't know. But
it's the coldest celebration and all this. I think it's people say it's cringe because it's us, right? If that was Holland doing it, it would have been cool. But I love it. It's the coldest because at this stage in football, you have to be very original to to come up with your own celebration. The knee slide and the corner flag, there, that. So I think it's cold, man.
If he does the hair thing and then he does the mask, maybe.
I love it.
So because everybody says the players listen. It's like no, they listening. They won't. They'll tell you they're not, but they're listening. Yeah. They know.
Brother, you score, you can do whatever the hell you want. But yeah, big up to Gary for coming on.
Everybody. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Gary from Don't Waste the Trip. Life is a journey. DWTT. Don't waste the trip. Just like we have wasted, I don't want to say wasted, but wasted 21 years of not winning a Premier League title. It holds heavy. Now that Gary is gone, I'm going to turn my damn jams back on. Big up to all 20-something of you still locked into BBK Sports, man. I'm sorry if I didn't get to the comments. Normally when I do my solo streams, I'm all over the comment section. But, when I have the guest on, I have to kind of let him do his thing. But big up to the Waffle Don says Fabregas was too slow, but great with the ball at his feet, brother. Yeah, way slow. But the thing is, when you know how to shield the ball, you don't need to be fast. You know, because you can't get it from me. Moreno is our second striker. It's the MTI1. Brother, I think he'll opt for Trossard as the second striker in this current team. Like say Gyökeres is coming off in the 75th minute, or says Gyökeres picks up a knock. I think he'll go to Trossard before he goes to Moreno. Moreno has proven to step up when needed up front, clinical, and takes his chances very well. Facts, he does. His tech, he has tech that he knows how to hit a ball. You know, it annoys me when I see professional footballers don't know how to hit a ball cleanly. When I'm playing in fifth division in Germany and I'm seeing the tech on some of these guys, I'm like, brother, how are you here with us? Like, we're making you worse. Some of the tech that I see on some of these kids. A man is at the highest level of football and can't beat the first man with a cross. You know. Organ, remember what he done to Trossard? Everyone else could see it but him. Yeah, I think Trossard needs a banger of a season, man. You got a pay raise for nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, make yourself useful, my brother. You know? I'm pretty sure he's close to or over 200K right now. So, you know, you have to. Kwarja said Norgard may play in the Carabao Cup. Norgard, Moreno, depends who we draw. Like, if we draw a Premier League opposition, he better field a strong team. You know, you let them rotate. You let Brighton rotate and play their academy. You know, you draw Brighton and they put out a strong squad, you better put out your first 11. Treat it like it's a Champions League game. I don't give a damn. You know, you can rotate this guy here and there throughout the season in Premier League games, but you draw a Premier League team that has no chance at winning the title, you play a strong squad. You must. You absolute must. I don't rip Moreno against team that presses us. Fair. That's fair. Moreno in the midfield is not good. His best quality is crashing the box and getting goals. I don't want to see him start. There as well. I do think Moreno has something to offer us, though. I prefer him in the midfield than Norgard. I'm not gonna lie. Whether 6 or 8. Would you gentlemen take Mano should he decide to leave Man United, or we go in for Baleba? Baleba is cold, man. Baleba is cold. Yeah. I mean, like most of us was telling the Man United fans that, hey man, you man are overgassing this Mano. Overgassing him the same way they were overgassing Ahmad, the Ivorian Messi and that. Mano is a good player, but they went too early. You know. But you know, this manager with the drip, who they all rate so highly, has made a mess of him. You know, I would cook Emmer. I would cook the shit out of Emmer. I think the United fans who know me know that this is not personal. Because you can't expect me to cook my own manager the way I do and then get your shit manager off the hook. Now he's got a whole coin. But nah, if it's between them two, Sean, Baleba all day. Matter of fact, I think we do need to get Baleba. You know what I'm saying? The same way we didn't allow Tottenham to get Eze, we shouldn't allow them, man, to get Baleba. We're leaving with something. DX Gunner, like brother. Yeah, my brother, the waffle down the war. My prediction is gonna be it is gonna be a barn burner, 4 p.m. on Friday, UK time. Be ready. Because I have a prediction that might shock a couple of people. And it's not for clicks, it's not for views. I actually believe in my prediction. I've gotten quite a few right this season. 1-0 at Man United. I felt that in my bones. I don't want us to rely too much on Eze first game. I think he's ready for it. I think Eze wants to be relied. I think Eze wants a classic debut. He wants this. This man is not afraid of pressure. If he was afraid of pressure, he would have went to Tottenham. He would have signed the deal. He waited for us because he wants the pressure. He knows that there's pressure at Arsenal Football Club. Number 10 shirt, introduction at the Emirates. You know, I'm going to Anfield. He wants that pressure. I want to see him in those spaces that Martinelli get, because I really do believe that he is going to get, he's going to start out wide. I really believe this is what Arteta is going to go with. So he's going to, all those lovely spaces that you see Martinelli take up and then kick the ball out of bounds, or driven the ball off of his kneecap, Eze will be in those spaces. And I think he will do damage in those spaces. I want that. We have hit 30 likes, people. Big up to Jam Boy. Big up to you, DJ. The real one. Dana says our wingers need to be on drop. Their fullbacks can be got at. So Buzlight and Kirkes need to be roasted, and their defense ain't playing great right now. Yeah, that's the thing, Dana. I think that I think Arnslot will react to Bozo at right back. I don't know what the status is on Connor Bradley, but you might even see Curtis Jones back there. Because, yeah, Elanga was giving him a hell. Elanga was giving Kirkes hell. But, yeah. Where we at? Getting back into the chest. How about we get 35 likes before we got 30? Come on, the assemble. Come on. Anfield is one of those places we need the game, not the occasion. Yeah. We get the game and then we bounce out of there and go into the international break. I'm hearing. Big up to Aaron. Said I would be happy with a draw. Hey, you boo! Boo! Aaron, get out of here. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing the draw. There has to come a time when we can win away to a title rival under this manager. No. Boo, Aaron. We are not hearing that draw. Nah, we're 3-point collecting. We're gonna go to Anfield and, like Kenny can say, put our nuts on the table. Put our nuts on the table and Liverpool crush them, then we'll be it'll be a long international break. But the draw does keep us at the top of the table, does it not? Nah, Tottenham might win. Now, there are so many reasons that we need 3 points in this game. So many. So I don't know. A draw, I don't want to get ahead of myself. But here on Wednesday, August 27th, I am not committed to a draw yet. It's one of them ones. Make sure you are subscribing to Gary, people. He is a great guy. Gary has stepped out of his Top Gooniverse and he is fully immersed in accountability and standards. Big up to him every single time. If anyone think that Trossard might be the weak link in this team, Trossard comes in when we're winning. He's cold, absolute cold. I would seldomly rely on Trossard to come on and win us a game. But yeah. The assemble, Aaron, you think that would be something we should be capable of? And yeah, that's true. Max Dowman to start our first Carabao Cup match, depending on who we get. If we get anyone other than one of the big dogs, absolutely. No, we get Coventry. When is it? I think the draw should be today after United, right? I hope United go. Come on, Grimsby. Come on, do something. Yeah, my brother Waffle Down say no. That's what they call Ahmad when he scored that hat trick against Southampton. When Southampton outplayed Man United for 84 minutes at the Emirates, and then Ahmad scored a hat trick in like a 10-minute period. Ivoria Messi, that damn Saeed, I take both Meno and Garnacho. BX Gunner. Go ahead. Come here. Lean in for a little bit. Just lean in or put your phone up against your ear right now, BX Gunner. Come on, man. Garnacho who? You get another slap for that. Nope. We're not doing that. No. We have enough draws on the wing that we're trying to get. We're getting any left winger, Robert Perez. That's the level. That's the level of the left winger the Arsenal Football Club should be getting after. Garnacho, nowhere near that. Meno is a baller. And I mean, he had some good spells. He scored a goal against Wolves, a brace against Wolves in that. But, I mean, unless the United fans are going to admit that Erik ten Hag is a better manager than this guy, because ten Hag was getting something out of him, and this guy's bringing on Ugarte and center backs in a match that they need to win against Fulham. I mean, not just him. I need other players to do their job as also. Fair play. UK, that was a little harsh on Spurs. You caught that little dig there, the assemble. Nothing gets past the assemble when it's a dig on Spurs, you know. Yeah, we're not airing that, man. Boo, Aaron, boo. Big him up still. What a geezer. But we're not doing the draw thing. Hey, nah, my brother. Odegaard should be on the bench at Anfield. So my prediction will hinge hugely on our captain. Because I do believe he could be the difference on a draw and a win, or a squeaky bum win, or a comfortable win. You know, like that. I don't think, but will, by the way, making a point. I don't think we will, but okay, I got you. This fucking needs to at some stage. Something needs to happen. We need. I mean, like, we act like the big boys. Let's go to Anfield and do something. You know what I'm saying? We need to do it. Man United fans try to come here, Kobe. They did. I've been told that he walks into World 11s. But Man United fans that I thought had their head on right. Yeah? Like in Jamaica, we say, your yassa depend your yassa. Your head is on your shoulders, right? If you have a good head on you, I think people are thinking, Kobe walking into World 11s. Nah, brother. He is not that guy. Not that guy. But, you know, he's better than what he's been. He's better than Ugarte. I know that. And it might be one of those attitude problems or something why he's not playing. But now, with Mainu wanting to leave, might be one of the turning points that puts more pressure on this damn Amarim for the United fans to realize that he is a used car salesman. Lips are moving. Don't trust him. He's lying. Absolute lying. People, it is Wednesday. I am out of here. I have to go. I have to go pay the bills, you know. The wife depends on me to pay these bills. Do work. I can't judge him based on how terrible the institution of United is. It's fair. And that's fair, BX Gunner. That is fair. Absolute one. That is a mad one. I hear that. Hence why they get so much flack. Ruben Amorim. I love this stat. I made sure I made him. I reminded him of this immediately on Sunday. And they better not. Is there a world where they lose to Grimsby today? All my days. But that's what's going to happen. They're going to beat this Grimsby team today 3-4-0, and they're going to get hyped. Then they're going to get another win against Burnley, and then they're going to get hyped. But, you know, it is what it is. They got the Manchester Derby in a while, and then they'll get punched up. And you know how that goes. But my lovely, lovely people, my football family, big up on yourself every single time. Big up to the Waffle Don. Thank you for the super chat, my bro. Big up to you from My Football. Thank you, Aaron, for coming through. Big up to you, my bro. Aaron Talks Arsenal. Big up to Kwaja. Big up to AJ. Endo. Big up to you, man. Godfrey was here. All the legends that come through and support the channel, man. I love hearing from you guys. I really, really do. You football savants. What else? Yeah, I should be on the Bruce Banana tomorrow with Shane, and you know, might be on with AP. You know, I got some other shows coming up, people. But big up to you, man. Every single time. Let's keep your notification bells on, and we will be here. Let's stay connected, guys. Let's all stay connected. Like I always say, take care of yourselves and each other. We are gone.